That always throws me off. Okay, hopefully I can do all the planks and stuff with you guys. I kicked a rock the other day when I was walking on when I was like shooting, and somehow like my toe feels like it's kind of broken, but it hurts to do things. So I'm not really sure what's going on. So if I skip out on something, it's because my foot just is not cooperating for that at the moment. I love our little mini class today. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's stand up. So just taking a moment, feet underneath your pelvis, grounding down, pressing the floor away from you, lengthening up through your spine, up through the crown of your head. Take a nice big inhale up. Exhale it all out. One more time, big inhale up. On your exhale, let's roll over to the toes and take your stretch there. You can run the knees out. Let your head hang heavy. Just starting to loosen up. And then we'll walk out to your plank position, finding your plank for a moment. Pull the abs in, and then walk back to your toes. Staying at your toes, you can pedal the knees out, take that stretch. And then again, we'll walk out to your plank. This time in your plank, you're gonna pull your right knee to your left elbow, back to your plank, left knee, right elbow, back to your plank, walk your hands back to your toes. Inhale, exhale, walk out to your plank, hanging out here in the plank. We're gonna pull right knee, left elbow, now right elbow, and back out. Pull left knee in, right elbow, left elbow, back out. And we're gonna do that a couple more times each side. We're gonna keep alternating. So you just pull in, you go twist, twist, and pull in, twist, twist. So I'm gonna just wake up the body one more time each way. And all the way back out to your plank, and then take it to a downward dog. And take a breath here. You can pedal the knees out. Inhale, exhale, pressing both heels back, and then rolling forward into your plank, rolling up into your downward dog. And into your plank, and into downward dog. One more time, into your plank, into downward dog. Hang out there, take your right leg up to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip, and stretching out to that right side body. And then you square the hips, step that foot through the hands, take your right hand up to the sky, stretch and open here. And then bring that hand back down, step back to your plank, back to your downward dog. Left leg up to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip, stretching out the left side. Square the hips, step that foot through, taking the left arm up to the sky. Breathe there for a moment. Bring everything back to center, stepping back into the plank, hanging out here. Draw the abs up and in, so the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale. And exhale, we'll bend the knees, press back, take a child's pose. Let the knees be wide, chest drops to the floor, dropping the forehead to the mat, and take a breath. Reaching the fingertips forward as your booty taps back, or settles back towards the heels. One more breath there. And then you're gonna roll yourself up and out onto your abs, like all the way onto your belly. Folding forearms together. Gluing the forehead down to the forearms. Settling the pelvis into the mat, letting your hip points and pubic bones start to press you down. Feel your abs drawing up and then floating the right leg up off the mat, keeping the right hip point pressing down, and lower left. And lower. So alternating sides. Shoulders relax away from the ears. Drawing the abs up and in. And then both legs will lift. Draw the abs in, both legs lift. Keep drawing the abs in, wrap the ribs in, and lower. Both legs lift, lengthening the legs long behind you, and lower. This time, both legs lift and hold, and then circle the legs away from each other. They go out, up, and around. Firming up the booty, get the legs long. And then we reverse it. Can you still draw your abs up? Are your shoulders relaxed? Pulling away from your ears, last one. And lower the legs down, shake the pelvis out. Keeping the forehead attached to the forearms and keeping the toes down onto the mat. Draw the abs up and in, slide the shoulders away from the ears, and then upper body is gonna slightly lift up. So thinking about getting your spine lengthened out of your pelvis, and then come up a touch higher, and then lower everything down. Draw the abs in, angle your pubic bone down, and then lift. And lower, one more time like that. So the shoulders away from the ears, lift the elbows a little bit higher, and then lift the upper body. Lift your elbows, float the thighs up, lengthen the arms out in front of you, pull your elbows back as if they could touch your rib cage, and then reach the arms forward. Pulling the elbows back, lengthen the arms forward. One more time, pull the elbows back, lengthen the arms forward, refold the arms, and lower everything down to the mat, shake your pelvis out. Draw the abs up and in, continue to keep your pelvis pressing down as you then bend your knees, glue the heels, turn the toes apart slightly, float the thighs up off the mat, almost touch your thighs down as you then lift and lift. So you're almost letting your thighs touch the mat and then you go right back up. Squeeze the glutes, but keep drawing those abs up and in. Knees are about as wide as the pelvis. Push the heels together. Bring the heels a little closer towards your bum. Hold the thighs all the way up and tiny pulses up. Shoulders relax for 10. 5. Last one, hold it up, squeeze the glutes, squeeze, 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 and then lengthen your legs all the way out and shake everything out. Lengthen the arms long in front, slide the shoulder blades away from the ears so the body, the neck is long, no tension in your neck, draw the abs up and in, you're plugging your shoulder blades down, and then float the arms and legs up off the mat and you start to swim. Little flutter kick, opposite arm, opposite leg. So thinking about length and then height after the length. For 5, long neck, 4, 3, 2, and last one, lower everything down, gently press yourself to your child's pose. Taking a breath there. We'll walk the hands over to the right to stretch out to the left side body. Reaching the left fingertips a little further forward as you expand that space between the ribs on the left side. One more breath there. Walk it back to center and to the other side. One more breath. Let's walk it back to center. Reach the fingertips a little further forward. And on your next breath, let's roll up onto hands and knees, taking it into a cat stretch. Reaching your spine up to the sky, dropping your head, drop your tail, and then head up, tail up to your cow. And into your cat. And into your cow. One more time each way, loosening up the spine, getting it ready to start to stabilize. And then all the way back to center, into neutral, plug the shoulder blades away from the ears, magnetize the abs up and into the spine as you extend your right arm and your left leg at the same time. Lengthen out of the fingertips and out of those toes, but plug the shoulder blade down from up the glute to hold the leg and then bring it back to center. Other side, you lengthen and hold. Finding a moment there. And back to center, moving opposite arm, opposite leg. You get a moment and then you bring it to center. So all the way stabilizing through your center, keeping your pelvis as still as you can as you move with your breath. Lengthen and make sure you keep your pelvis still as you transition. We're gonna do one more each way. Can you relax the foot that's on the floor? And then we'll keep the right arm out, left leg long, as you then round your spine for the knee and the elbow to connect. And extend the knee and the elbow connect. And extend, both in. And extend one more time like that. Lengthen, hold, and bring it back to center. Abs come up and in as you extend your left arm, right leg. Round your spine, the knee and the elbow connect. Relax your left foot. Draw in, extend. 2 more like that, rounding and lengthen. 1 more, extend and hold, and bring it back to center. One time into your cat and into your cow. and all the way to center and onto your bum. Let's grab your band or ring or whatever you want to use to start. And we'll let the legs be long. Wrap the band around. So we're going to wake up the muscles in the back body to know that they are working also. Sitting up nice and tall. Press the band away, slide the shoulder blades away from the ears, show the abs in, and we're going to roll all the way down to the mat. Vertebra by vertebra. Tucking your tailbone. Can you squish your low back into the mat before the middle back, before your head comes all the way down, reaching your arms long behind you. Take a long stretch there. Plug the shoulder blades away from the ears. Lengthen the arms up over your shoulders. They stay in front of your shoulders. As you reach your fingertips to the ceiling, as you lift. The arms stay right in front of the shoulders. We're trying to reach forward, reach, pull your abs in, and then scoop, and roll all the way down. So the arms are just staying in front of the shoulders. Lengthen the arms back to take the stretch, and then slowly rolling it up. Reaching forward. Pull your belly button to the back of the room as your arms reach forward, this time halfway back. Rolling halfway back and hold, slide the shoulder blades down. Can you relax your legs? And then just the arms go above your head and drag it back forward. Lengthen the arms above your head and drag them back forward. You're sliding your tailbone out. If you lengthen the arms and hold, and then just pull apart, pull the band apart, or squeeze in, whatever you have. Just finding some activation in your lats, mid to lower traps for 3, 2, last one, take the arms back forward, roll all the way down to the mat. Inhale. Exhale, roll up to your halfway point. Holding here, so the shoulder blades down, and we float the right leg a little tiny inch up off the mat, and lower and left leg. Micro lift, and micro lift. Lift out of your pelvic floor. Press out into the band. Last one each way. Holding for a moment, pull your abs a little bit deeper, lift out of your pelvic floor, and then roll yourself up, and dive over to your toes and take a stretch. Hooking it onto your right foot, and we're gonna roll down, stretching out the right leg, roll all the way down, taking the right leg up to the sky, and just breathe here. So just getting the leg accustomed to starting to be in that stretch. Keep pushing your right hip forward, and then maybe start to bend and straighten that knee. That feels good to help get a little more length. And then holding that leg back and bring it back a little bit further. Reaching the right sits bone to the front as the leg comes back, keeping your back pocket heavy. Trying to keep it straight as it comes back. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And on your next breath, we'll release that, hug it to your toes for your calf stretch. Pulling your toes down, heel up. And you'll start to point and flex into that, loosening up the calf. And then you'll hold the toes down and breathe, pushing the heel to the sky. Last breath here. And then back to center, spiraling that thigh, opening out to the side and stretching through your inner thigh. So you want to keep the shoulders planted down into the mat. Left hip anchors you down and reach longer out of your right inner thigh. Each breath bringing you a little bit further into that stretch. Shoulders relax. Let's take one more breath here. And then on your exhale, we'll sweep that leg up to the sky, anchoring the back pocket down with the leg, come a little bit across the body and stretch the side of the hip. Pushing the right hip away. And breathe. Take one more breath here. On your exhale, melting to your spinal twist, letting the band go, the leg fall across the body, looking in the opposite direction. Enjoying that stretch, keeping the shoulders down. And you'll extend that leg out to straight. Shake them out, grabbing your band, peeling yourself up and over to your toes, hooking it around your left foot, sitting up, and then tap and roll it all the way down. And breathe. So just easing into that hamstring stretch. And then you can start to bend and straighten. Try to find a little more length. Keep anchoring the right leg down. Left leg tracking straight back in the hip. And breathe. Take a couple more breaths here. Maybe it comes a little bit further. And we'll release that, bringing it to the toes for calf stretch. Toes pull down, heel pushes up, easing off the hamstring stretch. Point flex. And then keeping the toes down, heel pushes up. Can you guys hear that unhappy sheep outside?
Yeah.
And then bring it back to the center of the foot, spiral the thigh open and out to the side for inner thigh stretch. Keeping your right hip anchoring down, lengthening through the left inner thigh, pushing through the heel. Shoulders relax. Let's take a couple more breaths. And then we'll extend that leg back up to the sky. On your exhale, let the band bring your leg across the body, anchoring that back pocket down, coming a little bit across the body where your pelvis doesn't lift off the mat. Let's take a couple more breaths here, pushing that left hip away so you keep your pelvis even. And then into your spinal twist. So the leg fall across the body, looking the opposite direction. And then we'll send that leg out to straight. Shaking the legs all the way out, band stays to the side. Bend the knees, bring the feet to the mat, just loosening up your spine, arch and imprint a couple times. Let go of any tension in your low back. Settle yourself into your neutral pelvis. Soften the ribs into the body. Hands up to the sky. Wide through the collarbone, line between your chin and your chest. Inhale, exhale to float head, neck, and shoulders up. Reaching the fingertips forward. Seeing that the pelvis is a neutral. And we're just going to go up a tiny inch and down a tiny inch. Tiny lift and lower. Really targeting from the upper abs. See that your pelvis does not have to move. So your cup of coffee can balance on your low abs as you lift from your upper abs. And then hold it here, only the arms, lengthen back alongside the ears, and then press the arms forward like you're pulling them through molasses. Set the arms back and press the arms forward. Can your pelvis stay still? Can you start to activate out of your pelvic floor? Hold the arms all the way back and small lifts, lift, hold, for 5, 3, 2,
Last one, lift and hold, come up a tiny bit higher without losing your low back curve. And then lower
Everything down, release the arms by the sides with the pelvis in neutral, floating the legs one at a time up to tabletop. Point the toes, shoulders relax, and then you start to march the right toes forward and float it up left. So just dipping to tap your toe to the front edge of the mat, and then drag it up. Where is your neutral, and can you stay there? Is the weight of your leg pulling you out of neutral? Mine was for a second because I wasn't paying attention to my body. So make sure that you're not starting to arch. Pull your belly into your spine. Can you maintain that natural curve? Shoulders relax. And begin to take it faster. We're gonna go switch and switch. Waking up the transverse abdominis if it's not already, for 3. Last one, back to center, hug the knees into the chest, take a little stretch there. Can rock into the mat. And then we'll bring the legs to the table, reach the hands up to the sky. Give the back of your skull a slight push into the mat, plug the shoulder blades down, and then extend your right arm backwards, left leg forward. And bring it to center. Extending opposite side. Opposite arm, opposite leg. You first start by dropping your belly button in and lifting out of your pelvic floor, and then you move. And then if it feels really great right there, you're gonna float the head, neck, and shoulders up. Same exact thing, you lengthen and lengthen. So you've got the upper abs supporting you. So moving with purpose and control. Lengthen. The slower it is as you drag it in and out, the more you're gonna feel this deeper into your core. So you're creating that resistance for yourself. Let's do one more each way. Sink the abs in. Bring everything all the way back to center, hug it all the way in, and let your head rock side to side. Let's bring the legs to table, arms released to the sides for the moment, wide through the collarbone, squeezing thighs together, flex the feet and dip the heels. Halfway forward from your low belly, float the legs up. Take the legs halfway forward and drag it up. So taking them at any point where you can maintain. If you want to dip the heels all the way to the floor, but if that's arching your spine, don't go quite that far. So stay within your range of motion. Where are you allowing your abs to float the legs back up? Squeezing out of your pelvic floor, squeeze the thighs together. Shoulders relax. Sometimes the upper body wants to compensate for the abs not working. So make sure there's not a lot of tension in the upper body. 2. Last one. Drag the legs all the way back up, hug the knees in. Start to circle the knees in the hip sockets, let go of any tension in the hip flexors. And reverse it. We'll bring the legs back to tabletop, coming into hundreds prep, hands to the sky. Inhale, exhale, press your hands, extend your legs in a high diagonal as you lift those head, neck, and shoulders, and bring it back up, down to the mat. Inhale, exhale, and in. Inhale, exhale. And the next one, we hold it up for the hundreds. Inhale, exhale, lengthen, hold, and start to pump the arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Legs can be in parallel, they can be in turn out. Your decision, where do you want them to be? At what level do you want them to be out? They could also be a tabletop. Inhales, big, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, inhales, big. Inhale, and exhale, lift from your upper abs. If your neck is hurting, you put your head on the mat, and then bring your legs up a little bit higher. 2 more sets, inhale, and exhale, lift out of the pelvic floor. Inhales, and exhale, dragging the legs back up to the sky, hug the knees all the way in, and relax. Head can rock side to side. We'll firm the arms down to the mat, lengthen your legs up to the sky. We'll turn out here, crisscross the legs. We're gonna go right leg, right, open, out as wide as the mat, close with the left on top, right, left, open. So always with the opposite leg starting. open, use those inner thighs to close it quick. Shoulders relax, pull the abs in. Switch, 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 open, switch, switch, switch. So taking it out to a point where you're gonna get those inner thighs to pull those legs back up. We're gonna do one more each way, so make sure you're even. And when you're even, you'll bring those legs back up to the sky and then hug the knees all the way in. Bring your feet down to the mat, walk the feet a touch away from you. Widen the collarbone, setting up for bridging, making sure that there's nothing underneath your neck at this point, long neck. Tuck the pelvis, rolling your low back into the mat, and then roll your hips up to the sky. Lifting your hips up high, widen the collarbone, knit the ribs together, and sequentially rolling your spine down into the mat. Vertebra by vertebra by vertebra, all the way down to tailbone, and then tuck the pelvis and roll the hips all the way up. Wrap the ribs together, hug the knees slightly towards each other, and sequentially rolling it down. So you've got that ball or imaginary block in between your thighs. And also, if you have one, you can always feel free to put it in your thighs. And on the next one, let's hang out at the top. Pull it all the way up. Push the hips up a little bit higher. Hug the thighs slightly towards each other, keeping the neck nice and long. Tap your bum to the mat, press up and squeeze. Tap down, press up and squeeze. Can you keep your collarbone opening, the neck long, and jaw free of tension? Press and press. Lift this one all the way up. Keep pressing your big toe mound down, and then tiny pulses of your hips to the sky. Tiny press up, up. Drawing the abs in. Keep the neck long. Hold it all the way up, and then lift your heels. So staying, if you want, you can walk your feet back towards you, wherever you feel stable. Push the hips up high. Tap your butt down, press up, squeeze. Pressing all the way in your big toe mound out to your pinky toe. I'm trying to not put any weight in my left foot since my toe is not feeling happy. Collarbone is wide. Wrap the ribs in. Hold the hips up. Pulses up, press up. For 5. And last one, drop the heels, walk the feet out to hip width apart. And then lift the toes up, dig your heels down. Push the hips up a little bit higher, committing to those hips, staying up, then tap down, press up and lift. Tap down, up and squeeze. Getting a hold at the top. 2 more like that. Continue to pull your pubic bone towards your face. Hold this one up. This is where we tap our knees in and open. And tap in and open. Can you do that without letting your pelvis drop? In. And then hold the knees open. Push the hips a little bit higher. Tuck your pelvis just slightly and pulses to the sky with those hips. Firming up that booty. Breathe for 5. And last one, drop the feet, walk the feet all the way together. Let the knees open out to the side, close the knees. The feet are touching, open and close. Open and close. Now, as you open, drop your butt down, press the hips up, close the knees. Open the knees, down, drop down, lift. So you close the knees at the top, squeeze, open, lower, lift. Squeeze. A lot of inner thigh action. And it burns. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling a lot of inner thigh action here. One more like that. Open the knees out and tiny pulses up. The feet are pressing together. Tiny lifts for 5. Last one. Pull the knees together, extend your left leg out and push the hips up. Small lower, small lift, small lower, small lift, tiny lower, tiny lift. 5, 2, last one, lift and hold, place that foot down, other leg extends out, squeeze the thighs together, square the hips, small lower, small lift. Friends, I don't know about you guys, but I don't even like myself right now. 5, 3. Last one, lift and hold, place that foot down, squeeze the thighs, little pulses for 10, press up, up, squeeze the thighs. For 5. And last one, sequentially rolling your spine down into the mat. Once you're there, give your knees a little hug. Let go of any tension. And we'll cross the right ankle over the left. Thread your hands behind the left thigh and take a stretch here. Pushing your right elbow into your right thigh, pull your left knee back, drop your tailbone. Take one more breath there. And then we'll switch sides. Threading your hands behind the right thigh, push your left elbow into your thigh. And we'll switch sides. Bring the feet back down to the mat. Walk the feet a little bit away from you. Reach the hands up to the sky, collarbone wide. Inhale, exhale, rolling all the way up on your sits bones. And then roll back and place your forearms on the mat, legs to table. Squeeze the thighs together. Lift up out of your collarbones so your neck is long, abs are in, swiveling the knees over to the right, drawing a circle up, around, and hang out at the top. Swing back to the left. And then if you feel like you need more of a challenge and that this is just not quite enough for you today, feel free to let the legs be straight. Lift up out of the forearms. You can do straight legs here, sweeping down, around, up, and hold. Sweeping out, down, around, up, and hold. Also, if you feel like you need more of a challenge, you can be on your hands, fingertips to the back. So if you feel like that's where you want to be, we're going to do one more each way. So sweeping over, up, and hold. Sweeping over, up, and hold. Wherever you're at, you're going to take the hands off the floor, catch your ankles. Woo! This is our moment of rest, hanging out right here. We're going to draw the abs in, take the hands off, and slowly roll your spine down to your shoulder blades touch the mat and bring your legs to tabletop. Extend your left leg long, framing the right knee, and switch legs. We go switch and switch into single leg stretch. Press and press. Keeping neutral, controlling that the leg is tracking straight in and out from the hip. Zip the abs in, breathe for 3, 2, last one each way. Let's hug both knees in and relax everything down. Pressing them all back in, you can circle. Whatever feels nice, we'll bring the legs back to table. Reaching hands up to the sky. Inhale, exhale to float head, neck, and shoulders up, reaching just past the knees, extending arms and legs long. We circle to bring everything back to center for a double leg stretch. Arms and legs lengthen, circle to bring it to center. Zipping your belly in, lift up out of your pelvic floor. Inhale, exhale. Lengthen, and bring it in. For 3, we'll have a challenge on the last one. 2, can your upper body come up a touch higher? Hang out here on the last one, arms and legs long, and we open the arms and legs and close. Open and close. 2 more like that. Can you sink those abs in? Last one, and circle the arms around, bring the knees in, relax the head, neck, and shoulders, and draw circles on the ceiling with your nose. And reverse. And everything back to center, legs to table, single straight leg stretch, reaching the hands up to the sky, extend the legs to the sky as you float your head, neck, and shoulders up, extend the left leg long, little pulse back over the right leg, exhale as you scissor the legs, little inhale, exhale as you scissor, exhale when the leg is, little exhales. So, sorry,
Inhale as you're up, exhaling as you're scissoring. Exhale. My head's a little bit still on a boat rocking around. Let's do 2 more each way and then we go into our challenge that you guys love. And we'll keep the right leg up and we'll walk all the way up to the ankle, keeping the left leg extended or on the mat, and then walk your hands all the way down. Head touches the mat, we roll all the way up and all the way down. Maybe you keep your hands there, maybe you take your hands up when we roll all the way up, catching the right hand to the left hand to the outside of the right ankle, and then sweeping the right hand back and tap to center. Twist and center. Twist, bring it back to center, left leg comes up, left leg goes, right leg goes out, and then walk your hands all the way down, and walk all the way up, and all the way down, and all the way up. Using those strong abdominal muscles this time, hands or no hands, we come all the way up, right hand to the outside of the left ankle, twist the left hand to the back, look to the fingertips, and bring it back to center. Then twist and center. One more here, twist and center, both legs up to the sky. Draw the abs in, separate the legs as wide as the pelvis only, so a mini V as you roll to your shoulder blades 3 times. Come up and balance on your sits bones. 2. Next one, we're gonna meet at the top, hang out there at the top, legs come together, hands release as you roll down to your shoulder blades, hands behind the head. Take the hands up to the, or the legs up to the sky. You can glue the heels and the toes apart or remain in parallel. Lengthen your legs out to your point of control. Exhale to bring it up for double leg lower, double straight leg lower. Extend, dragging the legs up. Lift up out of your pelvic floor for 4. Lifting from your low abs. Remember, you always have your option to be in tabletop. 2. 1 more. Lengthening all the way up. Hug the knees all the way in and relax. Rocking head side to side, whatever you need to regroup to get into our last one for crisscross. Legs and table. Fingertip touch behind the ears. Floating head, neck, and shoulders up. Extend the left leg long as we bring the left shoulder towards the right knee. Rotate back to center. Coming up and over. Twist in center. And breathe. Exhale everything out. Think bottom rib crosses over to opposite hip. 2 more. Twist and center, up and over, twist. Last one each way. And bring everything all the way back to center and relax everything down. Take a long stretch here. And breathe. Fingertips lengthen long behind you. Imagine you're getting pulled apart from either side. Let everything go. 1 more breath there. And exhale as we reach the hands up to the sky. Draw the abs in as we heel up and over to the toes. When you get to the top, you can take a little stretch forward and we'll grab weights. So getting your weights here, sip of water if you need it. Starting sitting up nice and tall. Tuck your elbows into your sides. Actually, turn the palms towards each other. Lift up out of your pelvis. Legs can be straight or slightly bent, whatever is best for your hamstrings. Just lift the elbows and lower. Lift and lower as if your arm is one unit. You lift and lower. Lift up out of your pelvic floor as if you're barely sitting on the mat. Breathe. And then we're gonna hold the arms up. We're gonna roll back halfway. Everything stays still. Your tailbone is tucked underneath you. Lift your elbows, slide the shoulder blades down, and then just reach your right arm forward and then reach your left arm forward. So nothing is moving but the arms. Everything else is staying at center. And we're gonna add a twist on the next one. So as you press the right arm forward, bring the left leg up and back to center. We're gonna twist over and twist. Press, keeping the elbows up in line with the shoulders. We're gonna do one more each way. And bring everything back to center, arms out, roll down to the mat. Inhale, exhale to roll up to your halfway point, flipping your palms to the sky. And then just bend and straighten the elbows. Friends, I feel like last week feels like really long ago. Like my body has not done anything but upload pictures for the last week, I think is why. Extend. Hold both arms out, turn the palms towards each other, and then bend the right elbow, bend the left elbow. Bend right. For 3, 2. Last one each way. Keep both arms out and then sit up tall, send the arms behind you. So we're gonna shift your weight forward, arms go to the back, turn the palms towards each other, lift up out of your pelvis again, and then pulse the hands towards each other. So palms are facing in and we just pulse in. Long arms, long neck. And then hold them in and pulse to the sky, press up, up, up. Lengthening your spine as if it's being pulled out of your pelvis for 5. And last one, send the arms all the way out, so the shoulder blades down and just roll down to the mat. Inhale, exhale, rolling right back up. And we'll dive all the way up and over to the toes, placing the weights down and laying on your left side into our side work. Let's start with the head all the way out onto the arm and legs all the way straight. Onto your balance beam, pushing the top hip away, draw the abs up and in, lift the top leg, lift the bottom leg to meet it, and they both go down. So start with the flexed foot. We will lift, lift from the inner thigh and lower. We will lift up and down. Can your bottom waistline stay pulling up off of the mat? Top hand can be your kickstand if you need it. If you don't, it can come to your hip. And then both legs together, point the toes. They go lift and lower. Lift from the waistline. And then we lift and hold, point the toes, scissor the legs. They go switch and switch. So with control, it's not about how far they're going, it's about that control. And bring everything all the way back to center to meet, bring the legs an inch forward and lower them down on the mat. Head can stay there, or you can prop it up. Push that top hip away, lift the top leg, flex with the foot as we sweep the leg forward, point and sweep it back. Flex to bring it forward, point and sweep. Strong leg, really strong through your core. So we got our leg work, but it's also staying very strong in our center. The next one will stay back and little pulses to the back for 5. And bring it all the way to the front, flex the foot and micro bend the knee and kick, tiny bend straight in. Press, push. Can you wrap the ribs in? Keep that leg in line with the hip and hold it there as the leg goes up to the sky and comes right back to that same exact spot where it started and goes right back up to the sky. And it comes to where it started and right back up. 3 more. And there's 1. Outer booty. 2. The next one will stay up to the sky. We lift and hold, point the toes, spiral the thigh open, and this is where we draw our circles to the ceiling. Can that leg get a little bit longer and stir inside that hip socket? Reverse it. Pull the abs in, and then we'll flex that foot, lower that leg all the way down, and bring that bottom leg all the way back, and top leg can go to the back or it can come forward. We just need it to get out of the way. Where are you able to focus on your inner thigh? Flex the bottom foot, and then we lift and lower. And then lift and lower. Like you have a 100-pound weight on that bottom inner thigh, and we lift and hold, point the toes, and tiny pulse up. The point actually really helps to get into that thigh, because I can feel it now where I can't really point my toe because my bum toe is not feeling so great. Hold in circles. And reverse. And then hold, extend the top leg out to meet the bottom leg. We're gonna keep the thighs together, lift both legs, and control down. Lift both legs and control the down. Lift. One more time like that. And lift. And lower everything down. Bend the knees. Angle the ankles up. Squeeze the thighs. Lift the top leg and lower for clamshells. If you feel like you get more out of it with both legs on, with the bottom leg on the floor, feel free to do it like that. Whatever variation is going to help you focus on the booty. Keeping the hips stacked, keeping the top hip pushing away from you. And then we'll hold this one up in tiny pulses up, tiny pulse up. For 5. And lower that leg all the way down. Bottom leg can go down. Rotate knee to knee, toe to ankle. Knee to knee, toe to ankle. Tap and tap. And then the knee will go down, kick the top leg out straight. Tap down, kick out straight. On the next one, let's hold it out in tiny pulse up. Get that leg a little bit longer. For 5. And last one, bringing it all the way in. Last one here, knees at 90, directly in front of the pelvis. So a side tabletop. Flex your feet, top hip pushes away, knees are stacked. Sweep the leg open and almost touch down. Sweep it open and almost touch down. Sweep. 3. Let's keep this next one down halfway in little tiny circles. Stirring it around. Flex that foot and reverse. So staying very active in that leg. For 4, 3, 2, and last one, lower that leg down. Punch it all the way out. Woo. And then you'll prop yourself up. So your legs to the other side of the mat. And we'll lay on our right side here. Setting up with your arm all the way out, head all the way down to start. Keeping the legs together, feet flexed, push the top hip away, draw the abs in as the top leg comes up, bottom leg joins it, and they both lower together. We go lift, lift, and lower. Wrap the ribs in. Lift, lift, lower. One more like that. Point the toes, both legs lift and lower. Waistline lift and lower. Super glued legs. If you're feeling it in your low back at all, you could bring your legs a little forward. The next one will stay up. Point the toes. As you scissor the legs, they will switch and switch. So it's like your hips are pinned into the mat. Two more like that. Last one. We'll bring the legs back together, bring them a touch forward and lower the legs down. Head can stay as is or propped up. Lift the top leg, flex the foot, sweep the leg forward and point and sweep it back. Flex to bring it forward and point and sweep it back. and point and sweep. Everything else stays still as that leg just traces the line forward and back. On the next one, we'll keep it on the back and pulses back, pulse. Firming up right where the glute and the thigh meet, the hamstring at the thigh. And then sweep the leg forward, flex the foot, tiny bend of the knee and straighten, bend straighten. Trying to keep that leg right in line with the pelvis. Keep pushing your bum back for 3, 2, last one. It goes to the sky and it closes in line with the hip. We go lift, keep pushing your top hip away. How long can your leg get? 3 more like that. Lift, that's 1. 2, the next one, it stays up. We lift and hold, point the toes, spiral the thigh open, and circling to the sky, stirring around in the hip socket. And then reverse. And then we'll flex the foot, bring that leg all the way down. And where did it go before? Did it go to the front? Did it go to the back? Where, set it up for where you had it. Bottom leg goes back, flex the foot. It lifts and lowers. Lift and lower. So think inner thigh, lift that leg up. Creating the resistance for yourself. We lift and hold, point the toe, and we pulse up. Wrap the ribs in, pull the belly in, and we start our circles. We start around and around, up and around. And reverse it. And last one, other leg goes out. Let's take both legs up. This side is not as easy for me. Not that the other side was easy, but this side is definitely feeling more challenged. You got 2 more. Lift and lower 1 more time. Lift and we lower and come right into our clamshell. Bend the knees, angle the ankles up, open the top knee and close. And we lift and lower, open, squeeze and down. Squeeze the glute. Drawing the abs in. Keep pushing the top hip away. And then the leg stays up and we do pulses, pulse up. For 4. And last one, lower both legs down, rotate knee to knee, toe to ankle, knee to knee, and toe to ankle. So can the pelvis stay still even as we have that rotation happening? But it's all happening inside the hip socket. The next one, the knee stays down, the leg kicks back at a high diagonal, down, kick back up and squeeze. Wrap the ribs in. And we'll hold this one up and out and pulses up, pulse up. For 5. And last one, bring it all the way in and we bring the knees forward, flex the feet, the knees line up into your side tabletop, knees are stacked, flexes, the leg lifts and lowers. After this, we're going to be going right into our plank. And lift and down, lift. The next one will come down halfway, hold, and we draw our circles, stirring it around and around. Pulling the abs in and reverse. And lowering that leg all the way down, punch it all the way out. And we'll come all the way up and onto hands and knees to start to set up into your plank. So you're on your hands or you're on your forearms. Your choice, wherever you want to be today. I think I'm going to go forearms today. If you're on forearms, elbows underneath the shoulders, press the palms out. Neil, are you ready?
I am.
Okay, so let's set up that plank and we're on. Abs in.
One night, towards the end of a fancy meal, Barack grabbed my hand and said he loved me with all his being, but that he didn't see the point of marriage. Really, He's doing this now in public. So like a pair of old trial lawyers, we cycled through the arguments. Did marriage matter? Why did it matter? And if we're committed and we want to formalize that agreement, what part of our dignity would be sacrificed? Eventually, our waiter came over with a dessert tray, which I could care less about by now. But when I finally looked down, I saw a dark velvet box holding a diamond ring. Barack then dropped a knee and asked me to marry him. When I said yes, the whole restaurant applauded. For what must have seemed like forever, I just sat there and stared at the ring on my finger. Well, Barack said, that shut you up. 3, 2, 1.
Downward dog, I love that. Pedaling the knees out here. Pressing both heels back and begin to walk the toes towards your hands. Slow walk up to the front of the mat, and when you get there, let's just hang out there and take a stretch. Just breathe and let everything go. Shake it out, let your body sway. See that your feet are hip width apart, about 2 fist widths in between your feet. Bring it back to center, soften the bend of your knees so you can start to use your abs to roll your spine up. Stacking vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. The head is the last thing that lifts. To sitting up longer, taller, and stronger than before class. Grounding your feet down. Let's take a nice big inhale up. And exhale one more time, big inhale up. And exhale it out. And thank you, Pilates Hotties. I appreciate you coming to class and joining me here on Zoom.